Children, you must surely be as stunned and confused as me, and saying to yourself, how can this be?
That's probably the biggest change that's happened. Is I think Mandra's starting to lose its little fishing village ID or tag, which is good and bad. I mean, it does help with bringing opportunities and all that down here, but sometimes I feel a little sad about it losing its identity.
In recent years, Mandurah has had and continues to have unprecedented property development and urban sprawl on a dramatic scale. At one point, it was voted Australia's fastest growing city. This boom is not unique to Mandurah. It is in fact a common feature of towns and cities Australia-wide, particularly coastal locations and centres with tourism or retirement potential. And all of the development is done using unsustainable building design.
The developers, I don't think they have a vision for Mandurah. I think they're basically the developers there to make money. The people who are controlling the vision for Mandurah are the city council. The idea was floated to build canals in Mandurah, and so that changed things quite dramatically.
Governments, particularly local governments and industry, are slow to act, and in Australia we continue to build unsustainable buildings in an era of astonishing growth in property development and suburb creation. It is estimated that 40% of carbon emissions come from residential and light industrial buildings. Yet we continue to use a model of housing design that is based on mass production and was created in the 1950s and is completely unsustainable.
I guess there's some key energy issues there, and another key unsustainable point, which I think is not sustainable in the way we do our suburbs and the way we design our houses as well, is that we've kind of failed to bring in the sense of ecology into the way we design things. You don't design with nature, we almost try to obliterate it by bringing in the bulldozers and just totally dismantling the ecosystems that were there. So I mean, especially when you see the urban fringes, it's awful. It's just like, someone just comes in and there's a total denial of any sense of remnant bushland, any sense of fauna or flora that was there before. And instead we bulldoze it, create sand lots, put houses on it, tarmac it, put lawn and palm trees, as though we well. So both in terms of ecological terms and in terms of carbon and climate change and oil, our suburbs are pretty unsustainable.
Scientists are concerned that the very survival of our planet is in jeopardy. If the causes of climate change are not remedied within 5 years, prominent Australian scientist Tim Flannery predicts that the effects of global warming already in motion will have progressed to a point beyond which the damage is irreversible, and life as we know it will be changed forever.
On one level, our whole suburb design which is based on this ridiculous urban sprawl, is not sustainable. And the other way that's not sustainable is that the kind of houses we're building. We're building often houses that are basically designed to be heated in winter and cooled with air conditioning in summer, because they have black roofs, no eaves, poor insulation, and just basically heat up like big brick cookers and don't cool down overnight, and very poorly designed. Unfortunately, we have no legislation that stops people building these kind of houses, so we continue to get them because they're what's cheap. So, but they're cheap in the short term. Unfortunately, they're very expensive to run and very energy demanding. So, in terms of course, if we're looking at reducing our carbon emissions, which we should be in terms of sustainability, then they're certainly not sustainable either. But the sustainable house is interesting because, I think these are really good projects. And what they do is they try and show the public what's possible. A sustainable house doesn't have to look entirely different to a normal house. In fact, the sustainable house in Mandurah is not very radically different. But what it does is it makes its own power, it captures and reuses its own water. And in terms of energy and water use, it's over twice as good, almost 3 times as good as the average house in some cases, because of some simple designs. But it is ironic that it's a sustainable house in a sea of unsustainable houses.